Alright, we're recording. Yeah, screw it, this isn't really that formal a video anyway, so... Hey guys!
Alright. We're sorry that we couldn't stream the movie for you. We will try again when I get the Blu-ray. I have pre-ordered it to arrive at my house the day it is released. So we'll see what we can do with that. We'll see if there's any additional scenes, blah blah blah.
Yeah. I also apologize, the first thing you saw in this video was my ass.
So going straight into the movie. Everybody, did you like it or not like it?
I will say, I'll say this. It was better than the first movie, probably not better than Rainbow Rocks for me.
No. Yeah. It's slightly under Rainbow Rocks, but it's still a lot better than the first one. Honestly, I'm just going to go straight into this. Oh, by the way, this is going to have spoilers.
Yeah, well, I think we want to get to a point where we can talk about stuff that I think we want to do a little bit of a non-spoiler discussion, and then
yeah, we'll let you know when we're going into spoilers. I don't know. It's not really that spoilerific, but I am going to say I felt the same anticlimactic ending problem that the first movie had.
They did try though.
Yeah, this was slightly better, but there definitely more should have been done. The best they've ever done with that is with Rainbow Rocks, but for me, I really liked the music. I mean, I really liked the music. I was noticing the BGMs, and that rarely happens with me.
Yeah, the music overall was nice. I mean, I'm still not like I like the main song. It's still not like one of those things where it's like, you know, I'm gonna listen to it all the time, but you know, it's there. And but yeah, music itself was nice, and I don't know. That's really all I got
for the music.
Yeah.
Short, am I care to weigh in?
I did enjoy the music. I really like that the way they did the opening there. I really like how they pulled that one
I
off.
have to agree with that.
Yeah,
That was
and
really amazing.
yeah,
how
since
they
that's
transitioned into the opening.
Yeah, since that's not since it's like one of the first things in the movie, you can't really say.
Well, we're not saying how, so they have to watch the movie anyways.
They're gonna find out
what we're talking about.
They're gonna find out what we're talking about.
All right.
It's not like I'm saying. So I was really interested in the first 10 minutes when Trixie just started casting magic spells and turning people into rabbits, which does not happen in the movie. But see, that would be a spoiler.
No, that's what she does in the latter half of the movie.
I don't know.
Trixie doesn't talk in this movie.
I don't know. I figured it's just that it's one of those things where I'm just thinking like the intro sequence itself is not that much of a spoiler, but
No.
I guess that's kind of a spoiler. Trixie doesn't talk in this movie, but
spoiler: Vinyl doesn't talk.
I don't think we heard really, like, none of the ponies that we know of had new lines.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't really. I will say that. Yeah, they did. I think that's another thing that I guess Rainbow Rocks kind of helped, because like the first movie introduced the world. The second movie kind of helped deepen it a bit, and I think that's and that was with the kind of the introduction where we got a little bit more focus on the background characters as well. This one, I guess, was. I think it was trying to expand the world again, to basically brought in this other school, and I guess that's kind of where that shows, is that a lot of the stuff where we saw new stuff and new personality come out was from these new characters, and these are characters that we do know exist in the world. Well, take it, we know the Dazzlings exist in the world.
I guess to go off on what you're saying, this movie really does feel like it's either setting up for a series or a second movie.
Yeah.
That's mainly why I feel like, because there's supposed to be that like Equestria Girl.
I get that big
TV
vibe.
show, isn't it?
Yeah,
well, that's been talked about for a couple
rumored
years.
for a while.
Yeah, I think this movie just feels like, hey, here's our main setup to the TV show. Like, there's a place now for it, and so
it's like one of the major issues. Like, we do see a lot of the new characters, but they don't really have any time to be developed, except of course for their Twilight.
Yeah.
Their Twilight, kind of the other principal kind of gets she at least gets enough, I'd say.
Yeah, she gets enough, but all of the students, they're just kind of there, and we only kind of get like little glimpses, and it's not enough. That's where I think that's why this is suffering, because the second movie didn't have to do anything like that. We just straight up went into a story. All we had was the villains, the Dazzlings.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing, is the second movie had pretty much, it took what
Better
the first
villains.
okay, but the second movie, it took what the first movie built. it's basically said, okay, yes, these girls are are very similar to the characters of the other world. They're not the exact same, in a way, I guess you could say, but they're not exactly the same. But I'm not sure how exactly I'm trying to phrase that, but but they're there, and
they're not too similar, pretty much.
And you've got everybody there. All right, here's a situation to bring them further together. That was kind of the main point of Rainbow Rocks. Was
and develop more of a
Sunset Shimmer. Yeah, Rainbow Rocks is really Sunset Shimmer's movie.
Yeah, and this one, I will admit though, I do like how they treated Sunset in this movie, because she does have some nice development, and it really is trying to show how Sunset is kind of the new Twilight, except now it's really weird because we've got, this other Twilight in the movie, so.
Yeah.
Sunset is to Twilight as what Twilight was to Sunset.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, what's this Twilight going to be now? But I guess, what else can we say without spoiling anything? Like the animation?
Animation was pretty good. Unfortunately, well, we didn't really. I can see even like the file. We ended up watching off a recorded file from somewhere. I don't remember where, but we ended up finding one like that.
Yeah.
And because if you've seen our streams, you've seen what our aspect ratio for our TV is. So when we found one that was a full 16:9, we went for it. But and it just had some small issues, like there was some encoding issues, I guess, with whoever made the file.
That has nothing really to do with the animation of the movie.
Yeah, I know that. I'm explaining that even besides that, I could see that the animation was still pretty good for this one. Like,
yeah,
I mean, like I'd say it was about on par. I'd say with Rainbow Rocks.
Yeah,
for animation quality.
Yeah,
they're still putting the work into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't drop animation quality at all, so it's still there. It's not like it's worse quality than anything else.
Definitely had some nice effects. Once again, especially how they transitioned into the opening.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean,
other than that, because really, there's a couple of like kind of ridiculous things in this movie, but I don't think we can really talk about those without being spoilers.
Yeah, we kind of have to go into spoiler territory, I think, to talk about anything else. But I guess final verdict for non-spoilery, definitely check it out. However, unless you're really big fans of Equestria Girls. If you're a fan of Equestria Girls anyway, you're probably going to buy this, but this is not something I would say, get this as soon as it gets off the shelf. Like Rainbow Rocks was something that as soon as I saw it, I immediately pre-ordered it, and I was like, I have to have this. Friendship Games, not so much, but I'll be able to give you a more in-depth review when I get the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So, anything else that we can say before we break into spoilers?
Well, I was gonna say because that was your final verdict. I was gonna say it's like, and for me, like I said earlier, better than the first one, not better than Rainbow Rocks, but it's still for me it was a solid movie. Once again, I understand that they're like this time especially it was very much marketed to be a TV release, I guess. Or I don't know if they knew at the time that they were finishing it up that they were gonna, it was gonna only be a TV release, or if it was gonna have a theatrical release. But this is kind of what's been bothering me with the other movies anyway. Well, although it's weird that Rainbow Rocks kind of did it better, and that was, the fact that they only given like an hour. In fact, this movie was an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's not very long.
It's actually, I think this is officially the shortest one of the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the shortest one of the movies, and it's only by a few minutes, but,
That also breaks back into the thing, is this again because of TV edits?
We don't know yet. I guess we'll have to see that, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, for what I'm thinking here, I'm thinking that, especially to make that climax work much better, all you really needed was an additional, 2 minutes. You only really needed an additional 2 minutes, at the most 3, just to
pad out the climax.
Pad out the climactic conflict, the final conflict.
I'm going with the theory that, because I don't know how long the movies are when they were first released on Discovery Family, when they've got the edits out of the theatrical release. I'm willing to bet that the extra padding was cut out and it'll be on the Blu-ray. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
It's too soon to say because this is the first time it's happened this way. Usually we have the theater release, then the TV release, which is edited, and so we knew that there were parts cut out. This time we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't know until the Blu-ray comes out.
Yeah, so we'll see when the Blu-ray comes out. Maybe maybe there might be some little add-ins back into it that might
help it out.
Yeah. Excuse me, but all in all, for right now, I can still say that this is the second. This is definitely the second best Equestria Girls movie they put out.
I as far as I'm concerned, if you're somebody, like they said, if you're somebody who likes Equestria Girls, I could see this as one that you could go. I would go. I am definitely going to go out and get this. If you kind of like Equestria Girls, this is still one that you should definitely go out and look at either through Netflix when it comes out, or if you're in Eastern Canada, you can still go rent it from the corner store or the movie store.
Yeah, basically, it's at least worth a watch if you
It's worth a watch. Not quite sure if it's worth a purchase.
Basically, I just felt this really did felt like just a directed TV release movie. Like, it definitely seems like, I honestly, I'll be the odd man out, and I think this is probably the weakest of the three. Because a lot of stuff in this movie, I felt I've already seen before in the second movie, and a little bit of the first movie as well. I just felt like everything I've seen here is I could just watch any of the other two movies and I would just kind of get the same thing. So
yeah,
I guess I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
It's always good to have differing opinions.
Yeah. I was thinking too with what you guys said earlier about this kind of feeling like the lead up, like the first Equestria Girls movie, as if maybe that's what they're doing. So then maybe we'll get, like you say, this is better than the first Equestria Girls. So maybe if we get another one, we'll actually get a really good one that's based off of the lead up from this one.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
By the way, this is nowhere near really a spoiler in this movie, but I got to mention Flash Sentry because he gets the shaft. Yeah, he gets the shaft. Okay, this pretty much. I think without being a spoiler, I can mention that he was in the movie maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
And he has absolutely the least amount of screen time he has ever had in this movie. But then again, that was a good thing because this is one of those things where he had absolutely nothing really to do with this plot.
Yeah, and they didn't try to shoehorn him in this time.
Yeah.
The only sad thing with that is that it'd be nice to see at least the voice actor for that get into more things, because there's kind of a big story on that. When he first found out he was going to be doing the pony stuff, he was actually really excited to get into it, and then he was entered into it the way he was entered into it.
Well, I mean, he does.
Well, he was also a bus driver in this movie too. So.
He does get a bus driver.
He's actually. I think he did a character in season 5 too, if I remember right.
It'd be nice to.
They're slowly getting him more and more in. Hopefully, people will eventually warm up to Flash.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll have a bigger part in the next movie.
That's what I'm thinking is they pretty much ignored him for this one because
well, it just didn't.
That makes me, for all of you watching out there, you might be thinking of putting in the comments, this is the last movie because of the DVD box set. No, just no.
Okay, yeah, seriously, look at the Harry Potter series. They released a box set with every single movie starting with 4.
Yeah.
This is just something that movies do sometimes. We got a box set for what was it?
I've been looking at getting
Resident Evil did it too.
Yeah, Resident Evil has done it. I mean, Ronin Warriors. I can't think of the movies now, but Shrek. There we go.
Shrek did it.
When Shrek got 1, 2, and 3, we got a box set, and then they brought out the 4th one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking up the big there's a big box set you can get for the new Star Trek movies, and they're probably not done with those either.
Nope, so that's just something that happens sometimes. That means nothing. It also doesn't mean that we're not going to get a series either, so...
Yeah, so...
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah,
so.
honestly, I think there's going to be something out of this. Either, I mean, if we're only going to get, a couple more movies, we'll get that. Otherwise, yeah, I definitely can see...
I still see them at least doing a movie a year.
Yeah. I'm thinking if they do the series thing, I'm thinking the smart thing for them to do would be to run Ponies till it's run its course, and then start an Equestria Girl series.
I don't know if they would do that because we're already getting another season, and then a pony movie.
Yeah.
That would be way too long to wait for Equestria Girls. By the time they got around to it, nobody would care anymore.
Yeah.
I still kind of...
Anyway, I don't think that's not the point of this video. I pretty much think we've said all we can for non-spoiler.
Yeah.
So we gotta get this moving.
All right. So pretty much from this point in the video, if you have not seen Friendship Games, or you do want to watch the movie first, because I know some people will still watch a spoiler review without watching the movie because they don't care. But if you are planning to watch the movie and you have not seen it yet, go ahead and end the video here. It's not a problem. Come back and join us. Come back and join us later for this video once you've seen the movie.
Okay, so going straight into spoilers. Let's see. Yeah, so Flash Sentry, he pretty much the new Twilight bumps into him once, then he sits there and he congratulates her later, and then he's in the prep rally thing.
Yeah, he's in the pep rally, so yeah, that's...
He's just, there's really no point in Flash Sentry being in this movie. They just kind of have him there because, well, he's been in the other ones.
Yeah. And I think it's because they wanted, especially in that sequence where she's first into Canterlot High, had everybody recognizing her and stuff. Obviously, the viewer knows that Flash Sentry's gonna think it's the other Twilight as well.
We still don't know if he knows now or not.
and also, I mean, in that one scene where they're together like that, Twilight looks at him and she has the whole hot guy thing or whatever. So pretty much it automatically establishes that yes, this world's Twilight is probably going to show an interest in him.
Yeah.
Which pretty much leads to that could be a possible conflict later, which probably Flash Sentry would be like, dude, I get 2 Twilights, awesome.
Double the Twilight!
Yeah, it's obviously something that has to come up because, like it or not, Flash Sentry and Pony Twilight cannot be a couple. Because one of them would have to leave the world, and Hasbro's not going to go that route.
Yeah.
No.
So, by introducing Human Twilight...
it pretty much gives you an out for Flash Sentry, and yes, that gives the people in the fandom a reason to not be so hard on him for stealing Twilight.
Yeah. I just realized all the fanfics we're gonna get with 2 Twilights in Flash Sentry. Oh god. Anyway,
well, I know what I'm doing tonight.
I just want 2 Twilights.
Okay. I do admit that them giving Spike the ability to talk, I guess I kind of saw it coming. Although, I guess that works for how it happened.
Yeah.
Because it was Fluttershy's power.
It was Fluttershy's power. I mean, just in general, he was hit with equestrian magic in the first place.
Yeah.
So, and really, it was kind of a more uncontrolled magic, which means it could have done anything. Really, it could have just vaporized him. He got lucky.
I really saw it coming because I loaded up the second half of the thing and I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah, when we watched the movie, it was in 2 different files. So.
Yeah, I managed to fetch the files and I had to check that they
yeah,
worked.
we got Talking Spike again. I mean, we're definitely going to have more adventures with Human Twilight and the main 6, 7 now with Twilight.
8,
we all knew Twilight was going to transfer to Crystal Canterlot High at the end.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering, is the Shining Armor and Cadence married in this universe?
See, that's what I don't know, because Cadence is the dean, and Shining Armor just shows up as basically just having been an alumni. They don't mention anything. All she says is like, my brother, what are you doing here? She doesn't mention anything about,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably heavily implied that they are, given how close Cadence and Twilight are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Because for all we know, they could have just been dating for a while.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else can we say? Like, I'm trying to think of stuff before we get to the the immediate end and all the stuff that happens there. The songs were definitely integrated nice.
Let me see. The actual competition portions were pretty well thought out.
Although this does bring up the point of like, this suffers from the Angel Grove Power Rangers thing of how the hell does this high school afford all of this? Fucking dirt bikes and archery things and stuff. This shit only happens in fictional high school. Do you remember doing anything like this in your high school?
Especially when they weren't using actual dirt bikes.
Yeah, I didn't see a dirt bike in that movie. I saw a road bike.
Yeah.
You ruin on dirt.
Yeah, by the way, it's kind of funny, is basically during that second, competition where everything's going haywire and everybody starts realizing, hey, there's some weird shit going on here. I like how there's like the magical vines and stuff, and the one girl in the archery team with the archery portion with Twilight is just sort of still being a bitch until Spike comes up and goes, "Yay, Twilight!" and then she goes,
It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I like how the teacher's the first thing she's worried about is, keep winning! It doesn't matter if the world's falling out around you.
Yeah.
Now, I guess pretty much there's not much more we can say except for just getting to the ending stuff. So yeah, Twilight, of course, her little device somehow was able to capture and contain magic, and I just know this is going to tie back into the Sirens somehow.
Well, here's the problem, though. Like, when Sunset transformed, she threw that thing down hard, and we didn't see that thing anymore after that.
No, it blew up, but just imagine the Sirens learning, hey, this device can do this. Imagine them coming up to Twilight and going, hey, we want to be friends, and they get her to build new ones. I can see this happening. I can definitely fucking see it. That would actually be really funny if the next
movie I was just thinking
was dumb again.
I was just thinking that, because, like, that would almost be a really, like, you could call it a good excuse as to why they would be back in the fourth movie after just being in the second.
Yeah. I would find it really funny too, because like the first movie was, Twilight going to that world and blah blah blah, and then the second one was, them fighting the Dazzlings and blah, like just getting the story of those characters. This one we're introduced to the new Twilight, and then the next movie is this Twilight having to deal with the Sirens in like a new way, and it would be fresh if it was them trying to be friends of Twilight and trying to manipulate her into building them new devices and like just a whole new plan. Because I wouldn't mind seeing more of the Dazzlings.
Yeah. I did like them.
As for the whole thing of where Twilight unleashes the magic and it turns her into Dark Twilight, that was actually cool. It's just that this is where we get to the point where it's just not played out enough.
Yeah.
They have like a short little battle and it's over. There really should have been more.
They have a short little battle, and then they basically have an Ava talking to each other in the ethereal plane moment.
I'm really hoping that might be one of the parts where they just cut out some of the battle to try to just say, we don't really need this extra patty.
Because, if this is really all the battle was, which was pretty much Dark Twilight came up, shot and made riffs, which was kind of funny to see little views into Ponyville, and they were like, ugh. But, and then Sunset Shimmer channels Power Friendship, and she goes up and fixes those riffs, and then they pretty much just look at each other, and then they have a Kamehameha off, and that's where that goes. I think it probably would have been nice to have seen them, because we were looking at two people facing off against each other who just grew magical energy wings and stuff like that. We could have had some flying around and stuff like that. Would have been nice, like, even if it was a really short fight. I think just having even a minor bit of not
another thing where it was like, oh, I am such a Shimmer and I have the crown, I am Twilight and I have friendships over.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this felt. And no, you don't want to do that. What we want is something like the Sirens, where they go back and forth for a bit.
Yeah, kind of seems they attempted, but they didn't attempt far enough.
And now that you mention it like that, I kind of get it. That this was Sunset Shimmer kind of coming full circle, really, because now she's basically she's the one teaching the friendship lesson to Twilight.
Yeah, that would make it even more funny too if the next movie deals with the Dazzlings again, and then it's like just a really awesome movie with a great climactic because it's like a mirror image.
So that just means the Dazzlings are the only reason Equestria Girls was awesome.
Dazzlings made that movie.
There is one other thing though that I just thought about.
Huh.
What if one of the students actually did fall through one of the rifts?
Oh, jeez.
Did they turn into a pony or did they stay a human?
Well, I guess that's the thing. We didn't really see. I mean, we didn't really get it. Well, I don't know because all we know is that through the rifts came a jackalope.
Yeah, like we saw them starting to fall in, but they didn't actually fall, but they didn't transform into pony either. So that's kind of like one of those things. I bet for sure we're going to see a fanfic that addresses.
Yeah, they're probably
curiosity.
Probably 5 or 10.
And more than likely, given how this fandom works, it's probably going to be they don't change. It's literally one of the. It's probably going to be one of those things where one of the human characters fell through, and then they land right outside the house of their pony counterpart.
I could actually see it being a combination of both.
Yeah.
I can still see some actually transforming too, but besides that, I don't want to go.
I just thought Derpy's human counterpart falls into the world. They think they're twins. And becomes a pony. She becomes a pony.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have a twin sister. I have a twin sister.
Get on it. Get on it right now.
I did like the Derpy showing up.
Get on it, but don't make it a freaking clop fic, okay? Make it comedy too. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's
a
good thing there. She's like in the one longer scene with Flash Sentry. Yeah. After Twilight runs off from him because she's like, because she doesn't know how to handle it and everything, but she's still kind of freaked out that everybody recognizes her. Then Flash is just like, okay. Derpy just goes, there, buddy.
Derpy light.
But yeah, as I was saying, one of the big problems with this movie is the fact that Trixie doesn't speak at all.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, none of those ponies really speak that we know. I mean, we've got the main six. I think Sweetie Drop's Bonbon says something, which is pretty much just "Hi, Twilight," and that's.
Yeah. And I think it's like I said earlier. This movie was basically saying, hey, we've got this whole other school here. We want you to invest in these characters as well. We've already gotten you invested in our world here, so we don't have to focus on that so much.
So we've got and of course in Crystal Prep we've got Fleur.
Trenderhoof's there. Pokey Pierce is there.
Surrey
Polymer.
Polinaria. She was in there. Did we see Hoity Toity?
I didn't. I didn't.
We saw the snotty ponies from Canterlot. If you know that one famous couple, the girl.
Jet Set and Upper Crust, I believe their names.
Yeah, they were in there as students. I don't like there's one spot where Twilight's looking in on a classroom and Fleur closes the drape. There's a teacher in there that I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a takeoff of a pony or if it's just a teacher. I'm guessing it's just a teacher.
Yeah.
And we didn't see Fancy Pants.
Yeah, but
yeah. So anyway, is there anything else we can say before the big bomb at the end? Because that's probably something wrong.
Because honestly, we need to move on to that anyway.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, because
this is most likely really long.
Yeah, we're already going a little longer than we intended to, and we do need to kind of hurry this up for our own scheduling here tonight.
Yeah, we got people we got to get home and stuff. So the big bomb at the end is Twilight finally comes through the mirror of, the Ponyverse when she mentions, I was stuck in a time loop and it was the strangest thing that's ever happened to me.
I mean, apparently this is supposed to be a major season 5 spoiler. But is that, I mean, the people said there were animatics from the finale and stuff like that?
I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, but yeah, there's
Whoa. Oh. Guys, we're about to spoil one of the animatics to the season 5 final. If you haven't watched that, you should probably go ahead and just stop the video here.
Because this is the last thing we're talking about anyway, so...
Yeah, this is the last thing we're talking about, and we really can't talk about it without bringing that up due to certain theories we have. I just wanted to warn you, because you don't generally expect to get actual Season 5 spoilers when you're watching something about the Equestria Girls movie.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. No. This is, I think that, yeah, you're talking about there was an animatic released at San Diego Comic-Con. What happens in the animatic is the animatic first starts off with Twilight Sparkle at a lecture. She's talking about cutie marks, but more specifically, she's talking about the events of the Sonic Rainboom. And she thinks she sees, I can't remember the pony's name right now, Starlight Glimmer in the background. Later on, she shows up at her castle, Starlight glimmers at the castle, says so, I forget exactly what she says.
It's like, hi,
says
Twilight or something like that.
Yeah, hi Twilight Sparkle, and that's the end of what was shown.
And we know that the last two things is like cutie mark something.
Yeah.
Like the cutie mark mayhem or something. So what the basic theory is right now is that Suri's gonna
Suri Starlight.
Starlight, sorry. I don't know why I keep because they look exactly the same just about. They've got similar colors, okay?
Starlight's actually Suri.
It's probably gonna go like back in time and prevent the Sonic Rainboom from happening, so they don't become friends, and that stuff happens, and Twilight has to go back and fix it, and I guess she ends up in a time loop. That's the theory, however. Anyway, some people theorize that this movie wasn't supposed to come out until after the series. I actually don't think so. I think they intentionally did this to tease us with something that's going to come, because Twilight comes out and goes, I was in a time loop. Now everybody's wondering, what the fuck is she talking about? And it just makes you want to see the end of the series.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. Imagine we didn't know about that animatic. Imagine we knew nothing about about her saying that. Now put that as Twilight just came through and said she just finished up an adventure.
You don't know.
Yeah, it could just be. It's just a random adventure she had. Like she could have said. She could have come through and said, "Oh man, sorry, I had a bunch. Sorry, we had to deal with several dragons that came through. They came through." And like they could have thrown anything in there.
Yeah.
It could they just chose to say it was a time travel loop. They probably wanted to basically make it something that would be a really major thing to where she absolutely could not come through.
Yeah. Right, but for really though, the time loop thing definitely makes me think that we're going to see it in season 5, because it just seems like something that they're like, well, yeah, she was in a time loop, but we're not going to show you that. No, you don't do that.
I actually have another theory, but whether you want to go on that now or whether we want to go on that after we finish the video.
Probably. Yeah, I think we're pretty good on it here in the video.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we're already about somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes on this video.
Yeah.
And we need
to stop. And I guess the last thing that I want to say is this really, really makes me wonder what happened to Human Sunset Shimmer.
Yeah.
And no of the comments about they're in Australia. I've read that comic where she's at the bottom of a lake. Okay, obviously that's not what Hasbro did. So really, I'm wondering what's going on. Is Sunset Shimmer just in a different city?
That's what I'm thinking. Because the other Twilight was basically in another part, far enough away to where she couldn't really be a factor for at least a little bit. So yeah, the other Sunset Shimmer, could just straight up be in another country.
Yeah.
And for all of you who read my fanfic, I wonder what Morning Ring was doing during all of this.
She moved.
Yeah, she moved. I really hope that's explored at some point of where the other Sunset Shimmer is.
Or we could go with the idea of what Rain's fic was. The thing was Sonata and what she actually did to the original Sunset Shimmer.
Sonata, what she actually did? I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember that? Okay, I'll tell them about it off camera. Yeah, it's kind of disturbing and yet hilarious at the same time.
I think we've pretty much done what we can for this. So that was the movie. We're hoping that the Blu-ray has a lot more to it.
Yeah.
But still, at the end of the day, it's a decent movie, but it definitely does not. It's not better than the second one.
Yeah. So
still good enough for a watch.
It was good enough for a watch, and it was nice to sit down, especially with friends, and and be able to check it out. So
I'm definitely interested in the soundtrack. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right, we're done. So we thank you very much for joining us for this, and we thank Mighty and Short here for joining us on this. So we'll just pretty much move on from this, and we'll keep going, looking ahead. We got the rest of season 5 at this point, and we got probably more Equestria Girls, more likely movies, and
we know we have season 6, and we know we have the movie.
Yeah, we have season 6 and the main movie. So yeah. but we'll definitely have all that to look forward to. But at least we got something good for right now. And thank you guys for checking out this video. I've been Suki.
I'm Video Master.
And these two.
I'm short.
Yeah.
I'm Marty.
Yeah.
Quite not that short.
and we'll see you all in the next one.
Off to Canada.
All right.
Let's
Yeah.
stop this recording.